I welcome you all in the course workshop 19ME103. Today, I am going to teach you the material properties. The content of the lecture will follows like this. So, what are the points to be remembered for the selection of materials? So, for you are familiar with what are the ferrous materials and non-ferrous materials, particularly various types in the steel and cast irons, and also non-ferrous materials like as aluminium and copper. And you already know there are list of the engineering materials is very fast. But here the question will come: what are the points you have to be considered for the selection of the material? So those points I will cover from this lecture. And not only that one, what are the importance of these material properties? And when coming to talk about the material properties based on the various fields, it may be a physical property, mechanical property, electrical properties, or it may be chemical, manufacturing, or optical properties. So all these properties in a brief I am going to teach you from this lecture. In each field, what is that? What are the various properties are there, and how do we define it, and what we have to understand. So these things I am going to be delivered from this lecture. And finally, the discussions about the mechanical properties and its applications. And finally, is the engineering material classification. So this lecture is follows from these topics. The first of all, so engineering materials and properties. The first question may come: how can we define the property? So here the substance or anything which is useful in the field of engineering. So here we are not talking about any such a developments. It's simply a generally we are talking a substance. When you talk about a substance, it is physically have to exist. So the physically existing any substance or any element we considering as it is a material. So here when you want to select a material as per your requirement or as per your application, the following points have to be considered. First one is the properties of the material. The properties of the material. The second one is the cost of the material. Second one is cost of the material. That means as an engineer, if you want to, it's recommended, or if you want to select one material as per your requirement or as per your application, then you have to be in such a position to mention what are the properties are required or to going to fulfill your requirement. So that's why the properties of the material is necessary to know by everyone. And secondly, the cost of the material. So these are the two major elements, or these are the two major things which decides in the selection of a material in your required application. Now, so here when we're considering about not only these two, the third one also comes to play a role, that is availability of the material. The availability. It may be a size, shape, or it may be compound existing nature, or it may be reliability. So all these things are taken into the account. So finally, the serviceability, the service in the lab. So if you say take in a material, you made it into suitable size and shape, like as this pointer. After a long time, when I'm using for a 2 years or 3 years, it will same or it will be changed. If it is changed, how much it is the material, either size or shape or dimension is going to change. Why? Because for the last 3 years or 4 years, this material or this compound is under usage. So generally, in engineering point of view, whenever you are going to selection of a material, you have to first know what is the material properties, what is its cost, and the availability of the material. Why? Because all materials are not available directly. Some materials are very precious, like as the diamonds are there. They are very precious and the cost is very high. Those are not available all the locations. Yeah. So most of the materials what are obtained from the earth crust, in each location a different type of materials will be there. So that's why its availability also you have to take into the account. And finally, the service of the material life, or the service in life material. So the material, how it is going to be response during the particular condition under the service. Either it changing the shape or size or dimension, or it may fail. So all these things we have to take into the account. Once you are clear about this one, then we'll go for talking the first thing. Why? Because the rest of the things like as cost, availability, service, those things I'm not teaching that now, but I'm talking as a major concentration on the topic of properties of the material. So the first one, when you talk, I'm talking about the physical property. So here I will try to address you about these are the property of the physical, like as density, color, size, shape, specific gravity, and porosity. Now, similarly, when I'm talking about the mechanical property, a very few least I'm going to be addressing now. Those are its maybe strength, ductility, toughness, hardness, strength to weight ratio. Not only these things, there are some other properties are there, like as yield point. It is a yield point. It may be compressive strength, or it may be like as a endurance limit, ultimate strength. So the list is a very big, maybe like as a fatigue, creep. So among all these things, we'll try to concentrate only the main properties in each field or in each region, like as physical, mechanical, chemical. So chemical property. If you observe here, physical, mechanical, chemical, the terms is gives an idea to us about various field of application. Various field of. So the materials which are affected with the chemicals. Physical means existing directly. Mechanical means due to the action of forces. Similarly, I will go to talk about optical. That means light affected materials. That means how the material is going to the response in a different type of environment. It may be action of forces called as a mechanical. So the material how it is response during the chemical reactions. What are its properties? Those are oxidation, corrosiveness, flammability, and toxicity. Like, and after that we'll go for during the process of manufacturing. So the manufacturing field also has importance some properties. So you have to know about these things. What is meant by forming, casting, machining, and welding. Some materials are so good for the welding. Some materials are not recommended. It is very difficult to weld because of its very tough and hard nature. So what are those materials? Why it is happened? So those things I'm trying to cover from this. So the overall, the properties of material based on the various fields, physical, mechanical, chemical, manufacturing, electrical, and optical, all these different fields, the material properties, very briefly, I'm going to teach you. The first one. So here, when we're talking about the material selection is over, the list of property, various fields I just mentioned so far. Now, what is the importance of this material? So, just as an example, I will mention. So, as an engineer here, you are developing a new technology. So, the technology have to come to in a real physical world. Some medium is required. So, that medium, the material will be placed. So, if the material is not sustained about your technology, are not capable to handle properly, if the material fails, then we can say automatically your technique or technology also fails. So that means the material selection either directly or indirectly plays a major role about the existing of your thoughts or your plans into a real physical world. So it is directly depends. So the selection is a much important. And when you are selecting that one, that you have to be material, it may be influenced based on the either qualitatively or quantitatively. So you have to remember about that one. So now we'll go directly about the physical properties. What do you mean by physical property? The physical, the material is existing physically, which is can be measurable, and in the state of physically, they will be called as a physical properties. So those physical properties which were observed are measured without changing the composition of the matter. So those things I am going to be talking now. The first one, So here the physical properties, it may be density. What do you mean by density? The density is measured because everybody knows that one. You come across from the 6th standard onwards. These units, it will be measured kg per meter cube. It is the compactness of the substance. So which is expressed in mass per volume. The volume which is measured in a meter cube and mass which is measured in a kg. So the unit is a kg per meter cube. So here, when the density, considering some material has lowest density, some materials have highest densities. Steel material, it may be 7,500 kg per meter cube density. Whereas aluminum, it has very less density. If it is because of the less density, these aluminum bodies or aluminum material we are using in a aeronautic or transportation system. Why? Because this aluminum has capable of that much of strong, but weight consideration is very less compared to steel. So that's why whenever you are using about the automobiles, the aluminum bodies was framed because these are much sufficient strength is there, and moreover they are light in weight. If the transport vehicle has less weight, it can travel, but because the load is very less, so it can very smoothly go away. Okay. Next one, color. So the color also comes under about the physical quantity. It deals with the quantity of light reflected from the surface of the metal. Because of the light reflection, the color appears like as a VGR color combination set. If one color is observing means it is happened because of the sunlight or when the rays is falling on the material and my eyes can visualize that one. Because of this light rays reflections, I have felt about the feeling of the color. So the color also a property of the physical. So the third one, the physical property, it is about size and shape. So size. So the size, how much length, depth, or otherwise curvature, diameter, all these things comes under size and shape, which are also a property of the material. The porosity. The porosity, it is nothing but some pores, some air gaps are presented in the material. So the material may be anything. If you say, for example, if you're taking about the sponge which is very lightweight, but if you observe, the more number of pores are there. More number of pores. In a metal, there is very less number. The pores are nothing but air gaps. So when you are counting how many pores are there per unit volume. So that is a processing of measurement for a property. The property is called porosity. Yeah. Porosity means it is about pores. Pores are nothing but gaps. The next one, the specific gravity. So here we are calculating about all these like as density, size, shape, color, and porosity. And the next one we are talking about the specific gravity. So how can we define the specific gravity means? If you have any metal, the ratio of the mass of the given volume to the metal of the mass of the same volume of water. It is simple. It may be the definition, it may be lengthy, but you can understand much simply. If whatever the material, its volume, you are measured with the what is the mass of the water quantity in standard level. So those things we call as specific gravity. So far I talked about the physical properties, and the list will be further increased. But only brief idea I am trying to giving to you. Already you are familiar all these things in the earlier sections. Maybe it will be 12th standard or 10th standard. But here we are talking about our entire unit is about the materials, ferrous and non-ferrous. That is why I am giving a brief idea about these material properties. Coming to the mechanical property. So here, when I already mentioned, under the action of forces, how the material is response. The force, the external force we are providing. So how the material is responding is deal with the mechanical aspects. Those are called a mechanical property. And because of this mechanical properties, which plays a major role in all the fields, that's why all the industrial people are depending upon these mechanical property as a major thing. It will be tool or a machine or any structure. If anything is performs means the material property of that thing you have to consider. When you observe in your surroundings or whatever it may be, If any machine is there, the machine is nothing but so many number of links and elements, and the question will come, what material you are recommended for that element. Even look at about your automobile, it may be two-wheeler or four-wheeler. Chassis body is there, rubber is there, metal frame is there, engine is there. So what is the material they use for that component? These things, the question will be raised. Then whenever you know the material property, then only from the material property you are going to be decide or recommend some material. Now in a few minutes I am going to talk about these mechanical properties. Those are strength, stiffness, elasticity, plasticity, ductility, malleability, toughness, brittleness, and hardness. So I will try to give a very generalized explanation about these things to understand. The first one, strength. So the strength. So generally we talk about what is your strength. So generally what you call as how much load you will be bearable to lift. We call as what your strength is high, your strength is low. Similarly, in the material also we call as strength, which can decides or which can be defined as the ability of a material to resist the load without failure. The question is come, resisting the load. If it is not resist the load will be more. Load means some force or load. The load will be more. The material is failed. That's why it will breaks out. The load will be more. The material is a break out. But here we call it as strength. It is the ability of a material which resists the loads. So simply it is express the maximum load per unit area. That means load per unit area. So the type of loads may be two types. One is about the compressive load and a tensile load, or maybe shear strength also. So the three terms now I am going to be talking. One is about tensile, strength, compressive strength. Third one is a shear strength. It's very simple. Now try to observe the picture. Tensile strength. A body is there. The body will be going to be pulled on the both the sides away from the body. That is called tensile strength. That means the ability. Strength means ability. The ability of a material to resist the load under the action of a load without failure. And that the load is like as a tensile load and the strength is called tensile strength. If you observe the compressive strength, compressing. So if the forces or the load is acting on a body towards the body, the force or load makes to squeezing the substance. It is nothing but compression. Now compression strength means, of course, it is also ability of the material to resist the load. What type of load? It is a compressive strength, a compressive load. Without fracture or without failure is called compressive strength. The third one is about the shear strength. In case of shear strength, the ability of a material to transfer the load, the tending to separate or cut the material. It is a shearing, the twisting action. The tensile means it is pushing away. Compressive means this way, whereas shear means it is twisting. So the twisting load about to make a cut or shear, then the material strength is called as a shear strength. Once you are clear about this one, then I will talk about another one, the stiffness. Every material has own stiffness. So here earlier I was mentioning ability of the load resistance, ability of a material to resist the load. Whereas stiffness, it is a material to resist the deformation or deflection under the load. So moreover, this is under the limits of the elastic limit, then it is called stiffness. It is under the elastic limit. What is meant by elastic? I will tell you. So just first of all, I will talk about stiffness. It is the ability to resist the deformation is called simply resistance. The next one, ductility. What is that one? Ductility. It is the ability of a material to deform. It is a deform without fracture. Fracture means breaking. So without rupture or without fracture, the ability of a material to deform under the tensile load, that is called ductility. Some materials, when you observe here, when the load is acting on the system, some it will be sag or it will be deformed. Deform means length is changed, dimensions will be changed. It is not failed, but dimensions are changed. And whenever it is changed, that means if you observe some materials, we are making it thin metallic wires. All material is not possible to make that much of thin and long cross section, long length and small cross section. The material which has highest ductility only are possible to make about like this type of wires or rods and all these things. The steel materials and copper which has high good ductility, that's why we can make about those shapes. Clear? So here the mild steel, copper, aluminum, zinc, tin, etc. as an examples of the ductility. The next one, the malleability. Malleability means it is also ability of a material which are making into thin metal plates. So thin metal plates. So whereas ductility I am mentioning about thin metallic wires, whereas malleability I am stressing as it is a metal plate. Metal plate means if you say thin metal sheets, when you observe sheets have thickness, it may be 1 mm or less than 2 mm. That much of thin sheet, a very big size sheets are there. Every material is possible to make that much of big size with less thickness means no, it is not possible. If you want to make that one, we have to consider what is its malleability property. It is high or low, or what is that? Clear. If you observe clearly about these things, that is why the aluminium and gold, copper, tin, lead, these are good for about the malleability property nature. That's why the aluminium sheets you can observe everywhere. T sheets should be there. So one more difference I just say about ductility. When I say under the action of load, the load is always about tensile in nature. That is why it becomes very thin sections, a wire cross section. Malleability, it is under the action of the load, and the load is in the form of compressive nature. It is in the form of compressive. That is called as a malleability. The next one, toughness. Toughness. How can you define the toughness? It is the ability of a material. Everything is the ability of the material. It is absorb the energy up to the fracture during the plastic deformation. So there is one more term, plastic deformation. What is going to be plastic deformation means the permanent change their size and dimension under the action of load, called as a plastic deform. If once it is a plastic deform, the original dimensions will change. Original dimensions will change. In engineering application, always we are paying an attention about their deformation. If it is under the elastic condition, even the deformation is occurred that is very small, and automatically when the load is removed, it will comes to original size and shape under the elastic limit. If beyond that one, like it's beyond the stiffness, beyond under the elastic conditions over, there is one more condition will be there, that is about yield point. Once the yield point is overcome, the plastic nature will come. That means whenever you hit any metal object with a hammer, that metal object size change, the impression will come. That is a permanent. That means your load is in such a way that you are impacting on the substance in a big way. That's why the dimension is changed. So here when I'm talking about the toughness, it is absorbing the energy. Right? It is absorbing the energy. Next one, hardness. So here also the hardness, it is also one type of related to the strength. It is the ability of a material to resist about the scratching or indentation. Scratches means whenever the scratches is applied on the material property, some material are very easily forms the scratches, some material are scratch proof type. If the scratches, even if you rub the rough surfaces, the scratches will not appear. Why? Because it is the hardness is very high. So here the material the hardness is the ability of a material which can resist the scratching or indentation. Indentation means a small impression of the tips. Right? So that means the hardness is about the material property. This is also one type of related to the strength. Now one of the important one, brittleness. If you observe the ductility and brittleness, both are in opposite. In the case of brittleness, what happened here? When the load is applied, there is no deformation. I can say zero deformation is there. That means load acted, the body will be as it is. There is no change. But suddenly it is a failure. It break into pieces. The best example is the glass. If you hit the glass, suddenly what will happen? The glass will be break and make it into small pieces. Take into small pieces. But if you observe another material like a steel, it does not happen. So whenever the glass you have considered, there is always zero deformation. That's why it suddenly breaks. The next thing. So these examples, glass, cast iron, already I mentioned about the cast iron. The glass, cast iron, brass, ceramics are the example of a brittle nature. Now, the elasticity. So if you observe a plot about a metal, I'm taking it to the action of the load, testing. If you observe how it is response under the action of load, if I plotted about the stress versus strain, the stress is plotting on y-axis, strain is plotting on x-axis. The stress is nothing but force per area. Strain change length by original length. Change has no unit, whereas stress has load, may be measured in terms of newtons per area, mm square or meter square. So Newton per meter square. So when you plot here the material response, mostly this is for the steel structure, or I can say mild steel material, how the structure, the graph will comes. During this process, there is some locations are there: stiffness, elasticity, yield point, ultimate tensile strength, fracture. Those points you can observe from the graph. So one of the point is about the elasticity. So the elasticity means the material regains its original shape once the affected load is removed. That is called elasticity. Yield point, it is a particular location. Of course, this is also a stress. It is a location where the metal flows relatively a large permanent deformation without noticeable change in the load. So without noticeable change in the load means what we know generally, when the load is acting, the material is deformed. Load continues act, the deformation continues there. But even if you stop the load, there is a possibility deformation occur, and it is a possibility in only one region, that is at yield point. Only at the yield point. That means the expectable load acting on system is less, is negligible almost, but there is a considerable deformation is occur. That point is called yield point. After the yield point, the material gets a permanent deformation. That is nothing but plasticity. That is comes here. So here also the ability of it or tendency, the material undergoes some degree of permanent deformation. The dimensions will not will already change. So the dimensions already change. So that condition is called plasticity. So already mentioned the stress, which is measured force per area, strain is changed by original length. The next one, ultimate tensile strength. Ultimate, the name itself mentioned, the maximum stress that a material can withstand. Right? The material have to withstand. What is the maximum stress? So that means before breaking, or every material under the load continuously acting, definitely one particular time it breaks, or one particular load it breaks. Breaks means failure. Now here, during the processing, what is the maximum stress or maximum load it can? I'm talking a strength now. That's why I have mentioned the stress. The maximum stress that can material stand before going to break, that is called ultimate tensile strength. That will be always count what is its ultimate tensile strength. If its ultimate tensile strength is about, we call as a, simply it is about 1200 or 750 kg Newton per mm square. That means that is the maximum load it can bear. If beyond that one, it breaks. So the load in service is less than 750 newtons per mm square. The stress is acting in the system. Now the next one, the fracture. So here the fracture, means it is a failure. Already mentioned. It is a fracture means it is a break into pieces. What condition it is failure. The next one, fatigue. So here the terms, the fatigue. how can we define the fatigue means? So it is the caused by the cyclic loading, the progressive and localized damage. So cyclic loading means the loads are continuously, repetitively happening on the system. The periodic loads, or you can say. Every time the load will be same or different. It is continuously acting. When the cyclic, repetitive loads are acting in the system, always there is a possibility damage occur. Why? Because of this continuous cyclic load acting, there is a possibility of failure in a localized location, that those are called as a crack. Initially the crack will be very small, but even the loads are continuously repeated, the crack will be grow bigger and the crack growth is happen, and finally it leads to a metal failure. Similarly, there is a term, last term, which is called as a creep. Creep means what? How can we define the creep? Here, when I said in the fatigue, a repeatedly load are cyclic loads. But in the case of creep, a constant load is acting on a material for a long time period. And moreover, this is affected with the consideration of the temperature conditions also. So one constant small load is not a big load. It's one small load is acting for a long time of period, then that is also goes in a damage in the system. So there is a permanent deformation occur, and it is happened because of small constant load acting over a time period in a particular temperature conditions. We call as a creep. So this is it about the mechanical properties.